It is not early Buddhism which is being attacked. One who reads the 12 Gate Treatise will have cause to dispute this thesis. The opening statement clears away our doubts. The text describes itself as a concise summary of Mahayana teachings, and Nagarjuna begins with 7 reasons why Mahayana is superior to Hinayana, each of them a discussion of the word great, as in, this is the vehicle which is ridden by Buddhas and great men, and hence is called great. Again, in the Prajna Sutra, the Buddha himself says that the teachings of Mahayana are immeasurable and boundless. For this reason it is called great.
If one studies the 12 Gate Treatise and the Middle Treatise together, it becomes clear that the logic in Nagarjuna's writing is not purely formal. When Nagarjuna argued, he did not adhere rigidly to form. The 4 expressions he used are not entirely devoid of logical meaning, yet the meaning of each expression depends on context. Nagarjuna often viewed each lemma in several different ways. This is especially the case with the 3rd and 4th lemmas. According to Richard Robinson, the 3rd lemma is a conjunction of the I and O forms of Aristotelian logic. However, a careful study of the 12 Gate Treatise and the Middle Treatise shows that Nagarjuna viewed the 3rd lemma in at least 3 different ways, namely Nagarjuna's arguments sometimes suggest that he regarded or used the 3rd lemma not as a conjunction of I and O, but of P and P. In his critical analysis, Nagarjuna often argued that the lemma itself involves mutually conflicting theses and hence is not possible. This is clearly stated in the 12 Gate Treatise when he examined the 3rd possible view of causation.
It is also untenable that a cause can both include and exclude an effect and then produce the effect. Why? Because including and excluding are contradictory in nature. How can things which are contradictory in nature be together? Just as brightness and darkness, suffering and pleasure, going and staying, binding and loosening cannot be together, so a cause which both includes and excludes an effect cannot produce. The Middle Treatise also suggests this view, for, how could the mutually conflicting being and non-being coexist as one? In talking about the 3rd lemma in connection with nirvana, Nagarjuna likewise viewed it as of the form and said, how could nirvana be, in the realm of, both existence and non-existence? Both cannot be together in one place just as the situation is with light and darkness.
On other occasions, Nagarjuna seemed to treat the 3rd lemma as a disjunctive affirmation. He did not say that the 3rd lemma is self-contradictory, but that it may have 2 fallacies. For example, in examining the 3rd ultimative view of suffering, Nagarjuna wrote, nor can it be made by both itself and another, for this involves 2 fallacies, the fallacy of self-made and a fallacy of other-made. If either of them can be established, then a 3rd alternative can be established. If suffering could be made individually by itself and by other, then there should also be suffering made jointly. Since neither of them can be established, in truth then, suffering could not be made by itself, for a thing could not make itself. Neither could it be made by other, for the other is insubstantial. So the 3rd alternative cannot be established. As Robinson suggests, Nagarjuna did sometimes use the 3rd lemma as a conjunction of particular statements. In discussing the 3rd alternative view of the relation between man and God, Nagarjuna interpreted both eternal and non-eternal as one part is divine and one part is human. Perhaps one reason why Robinson and other scholars insist that the 3rd lemma is of the form exclusively is that it is more plausible than the or forms. For Nagarjuna, however, it does not make any difference which logical form is used to describe reality. All theories about reality, no matter what their logical forms are erroneous, and none can be claimed more plausible than others. He aimed to show absurdity in each of them.
It seems that Nagarjuna also viewed and treated the 4th lemma in several different ways. He sometimes spoke of it as the contrary or negation of the 3rd. For example, in discussing the 3rd alternative view of nirvana, he wrote that nirvana is characterized by both being and non-being, and in disputing upon the 4th alternative view, declared that nirvana is not characterized by both being and non-being. However, Nagarjuna also seems to have treated the 4th lemma as the contrary or opposite of the first 3 lemmas together. For instance, in arguing upon the first 3 lemmas of suffering, he stated that suffering has cause, is caused by itself, by other, or by both, and in discussing the 4th lemma, he claimed that suffering has no cause. The conciseness of the 12 Gate Treatise made it of real use to Sanluan masters in China and their pupils. From its pages one gathers that Nagarjuna may be definitively placed among Mahayana Buddhists, and there is, further, the remarkable dispensing with cause and effect, a standard Buddhist tenet. The text is abbreviated, focusing on but one, rather than all 8, of the Buddhist eightfold negations. It shows a flexibility of logical forms, when read in conjunction with the Middle Treatise, that makes it of interest to specialists in that area. These are all aspects of the importance of the text.